Friends, drag queens, and Jewish vampires, lend me your ear. It is your favorite maligned author, Russell Andreessen, here tonight with exciting news. The launch of my very own website, Fantastic Dreams Books. www.fantasticdreamsbooks.com. Russell Andreessen, author. P.O. Box 73650, Noonan, Georgia 30271. Why did I need to create Fantastic Dreams? I needed to create Fantastic Dreams because there's been this air of arrogance from the beasts of the publishing world for far too long, who have controlled what's being read. Much in the way of George Orwell's 1984, where Big Brother is watching. The media controls everything, and the same is true with writing. Unless you're writing smut, teen romance, young vampires in love, the collective works of Stephanie Meyers, other dreck like that, you have literally no shot whatsoever of being published. Independent authors like myself and thousands of others, who are far and away more talented than the majority of the schmucks who are putting books up on the shelves these days, we're busting our asses day in and day out to get just a little bit ahead in the world, to get that little bit of a spark of hope. Yeah, an agent says, I would love to sell your book, and then he comes back with 15 rejections, and they come back with the most ridiculous rejections. I myself, with the book, even though it's my latest one, it's the one that really got all of this started, the whole movement started, A Crude World. This was my first foray into nonfiction. I spent 14 years of my life in and around the New York Mercantile Exchange, from the lowly ranks of mailroom clerk all the way up to floor manager for a large options company. I was featured on the cover of a now defunct financial trading magazine. I was featured in the New York Mercantile Exchange's Barrels, Bars, and BTUs magazine twice. And do you know what agents were getting replies for this book? One agent said, yes, I want to sell this book. And he was getting responses like, but there's no character growth. We don't care about these people. Where is the storyline going? Are you serious? It's a work of nonfiction. I'm telling you the true events of things that happen on the trading floor. You are not supposed to see growth in characters. You are not supposed to like these people. These are not likable people. I work there, and I don't like these people, and I don't like myself for the things that I did to good people like you. That's part of the reason why I wrote the book to begin with. And that's one of the reasons why I created Fantastic Dreams Books. Because all of us independent writers have a fantastic dream, and that's to see our work and our written word in print. On the page Fantastic Dreams, you will be able to get a brief preview of not only A Crude World, but its two sister books, the dark comedy, The Queen and I, and my very first book, which came out in 2010, Are You Kosher? Memoirs of a Jewish Vampire. All three of those books will be available on fantasticdreamsbooks.com. They're to be ordered directly through me, so you're cutting out the publisher. You'll get personalized copies, whether it be paperback or hardcover. The only one that is not available in hardcover is The Queen and I. That was a personal choice. And the book will be signed in any way you like it. All you have to do is specify. Prices are listed on the page, along with descriptions of each and every single one of the books. Let's start with the one that actually started it all. Are You Kosher? Memoirs of a Jewish Vampire. This is a full frontal assault on political correctness. I hate political correctness. I quote Donald Trump from the last debate. The problem with this country is that we have all become far too politically correct, and he could not be further from the truth. Of course, I'm not Donald Trump, and I don't have a soapbox to stand on. And then again, who the hell is Russell Andreessen? So what would it matter if I wrote a book about political correctness? Who'd want to read that? But what if you could somehow manage to get it from the point of view of someone who's lived through it all, who's seen it all, who's done it all, and who's met most of the people who've done it? An immortal. Now, when you think immortal, you think of gods, or, in my case, you think of vampires. But just to have some fun with it, I made my vampire Jewish. But he's not just Jewish, he's a kosher Jew. So that in itself causes a dilemma that he has to live with. It doesn't help the fact that his mother and his bubby, for those of you who don't know what a bubby is, that's a grandma, they're also vampires, and he still lives with them. And so he spends the night of the Sabbath writing his memoirs, which is also a contradiction because it is a no-no to write on the night of the Sabbath. You're breaking law. But he covers that in this book, Are You Kosher? Memoirs of a Jewish Vampire. This is available in hardcover and in paperback. Details are on the site www.fantasticdreamsbooks.com. That brings us fast forwarded to June 7th of 2015, when I released The Queen and I, my second work of fiction, which, oddly enough, also deals with the supernatural, much like vampires, considering the fact that I can't stand movies about ghosts, vampires, werewolves, or really anything of that nature. For some reason, it seems to be what I'm drawn to when I write. This follows a story of a playwright who is at the top of the world, can do no wrong. Everything he touches turns to gold. He is the Prince of Broadway, until he makes the fatal mistake of crossing an eccentric billionaire. I shouldn't say fatal, I should say fateful. He decides that he's not going to ghostwrite for him. The billionaire proceeds to ruin this man's life. So without hope, without prospects, without anywhere else to turn, he leaves New York City life behind and Broadway, buys a cabin upstate New York, in the Finger Lakes region to be exact, beautiful country, and he decides that he's going to try to write the play that will put him back on top and maybe get a small ounce of revenge in the process. Soon after, he realizes that he is not alone in that cabin. The cabin is being occupied by the ghost of a 1920s drag queen. The drag queen has decided that his own vaudevillian career never transferred to Broadway or to the picture shows, and he is determined to help our hero, Jeffrey David Rothstein, write the next big hit. All the while, though, the billionaire has set a bounty hunter out to find our playwright, but the bounty hunter has gone rogue. He has literally gone insane during the course of his hunt. It all meets at a climax. In a book that grabs you from the very first page and does not let go until the last chapter, the very last page of that chapter. A last chapter which I guarantee you will never in a million years guess. And then finally, for those of you who have followed my YouTube page, first of all, thank you very much. And I would ask that you turn me on to more of your friends. The page is Russell Andreessen for more stuff on books. I just recently did my first book review on Ghost at a Watchman. There will be a new review coming out this week. We will be doing a book by Brad Thor called Lions of Lucerne. But I digress. A Crude World. This book is the book that nobody from the New York Mercantile Exchange wants you to read. You may have heard of the book The Asylum. Let me tell you about The Asylum. That book was written by a journalist who never stepped one foot on the trading floor except by getting her hands on a pass from a friend and observing for a couple of months what she saw and what she thought was going on. She has absolutely no idea. Her book, The Asylum, is garbage. Pure and utter garbage. You want to know what really goes on behind the curtains of the commodities broker? Do you want to know how easy it was and still is, and even more so now, to steal from the customers? Do you want to know what really happened as far as drug use was concerned? Where, when, how, and how much? Do you want to know about the sexism, the racism, the ungodly bad behavior that took place between men who were charged with determining the prices of the world's oil markets? Then look no further. On FantasticDreamsBooks.com, this too is available, in paperback and in hardcover. All prices for the books will be on the website. All prices include shipping and handling and the personalized customization of whatever you want me to sign in the book. I just ask that you, along with your check, please make it out to Russell Andreessen /author or money order and do the same thing. And specify the quantity. I use round numbers so you can do the math yourself. Please make sure that you leave an email address that I can reach you at, although there is a spot on the site where you can do all of this. And I will get the books to you within 4 to 6 business weeks, but between friends, it'll probably be a lot less than that. Anyway, this is an exciting time. I thank you all so much from the bottom of my heart. For those of you who have already purchased one or all of these books, I cannot begin to tell you how much it means to me that you would take the time to spend your hard-earned money, especially in these unquestionable days that we're living in, to say, you know what, I could use a release and I'd like to read a book, and you chose one of mine. And for that, I thank you. There are more books coming. I can guarantee you 2016 will see the release of at least one, but most likely 2 books. I will not delve into what it is. I can tell you that there is going to be a follow-up to the vampire book that you are not going to believe. There is going to be a follow-up to A Crude World, and there is also a fantasy novel, an honest-to-God fantasy novel, complete with knights and knaves and wizards and warlocks and elves and dwarves and gnomes and goblins and a neurotic dragon and a gay vampire. I just had to. I had no choice. It had to be done. All of this is in the works. I'm doing this because this is what I love to do. I'm doing this because I want to share my stories with you. I'm doing this because I really do care about my readers. And I want my readers to feel like when they're done with the book, that they can put it down and say, I got it. I got something out of that. That means all the world to me. So, FantasticDreams.com, FantasticDreamsBooks.com. My apologies. Let me put it up again one more time. This is the contact information. Are we here? Are we clear? There we go. www.fantasticdreamsbooks.com. Russell Andreessen, author. P.O. Box 73650, Noonan, Georgia 30271. And if any of you out there, by any chance, should be attending this year's Dragon Con in Atlanta on Labor Day weekend, I will be there. I will be wearing a Fantastic Dreams Books hat, and on at least 2 of the days I will be wearing either a red or a Blue Lantern t-shirt. So you won't have a problem finding me. I'm channeling my inner geek. So until the next time, friends, please pass this along, tell your friends, buy the books, give me your feedback. I want to hear it. If you have a story idea that you think you would love to see brought to life, but perhaps you don't think you're capable of doing, perhaps we could even collaborate. Why not? Some of us are gifted in coming up with the ideas, while others are gifted in putting those ideas to paper. So let's become a team. Let's work together and let's have a lot of fun doing it. Please turn your friends onto my page, Russell Andreessen. The last name is Andresen, or you could just rewind this video a little bit and see my name written on the piece of paper. And until the next time, I say to you, good night, good luck, and God bless.